Hello, welcome back to Kaiserreich. Since the last episode, I've gone back and slightly done a, slight rewind to roughly around March 1940. I think we were in September 1940 in the past episode, episode 11. So here in episode 12, I've gone back and I've changed my choice on a single event, which was the Veterans Bill, and that is going to possibly have some massive ramifications for what happens next. So, following the failure of the bill, which meant that we do not have prohibition and we do not have the veterans' care, because both bills had to be passed at the same time and we did not pass either, or they had to be passed as a single bill. Because of that, we get this event, a midnight dinner. After a dinner in Washington, D.C., President Huey Long has disappeared along with his limousine and several of his armed guards. Disappearance was not noted until 9 the next morning. And by then, newspapers had already begun spinning a story about syndicalist plotters. The Secret Service, having been decimated by the war, must seek the aid of the FBI if they are to ever find President Long alive. American Legion National Commander George Van Horn Mosley has announced he will guide the country until a proper leader is found, ensuring syndicalism is uprooted from the country. Congress has called for an emergency session to deal with succession, as kidnapping has no proper recourse in the Constitution. The syndicalists shall not get away with this. The American Union state will now be known as the United States of America. War Powers Committee becomes the ruling party, public elections will not be held. President Huey Long disappears. In an unprecedented turn of events, the victorious US President Huey Long has gone missing. American newspapers report that Huey Long's car and all of his bodyguards disappeared after a late night dinner in the new capital city. From what we can gather from the papers, an unidentified group of professional syndicalist assassins were behind this attack. This comes after the high-profile slaying of industrialist Henry Ford's son, Edsel Ford, by an anarchist. American Legion Commander George Van Horn Mosley addressed the public's concerns, saying that he will occupy the presidential mansion in order to uproot any potential conspirators, and has mobilized the Legion to defend vulnerable congressmen in a dangerous time. That last part is kind of strangely worded. How dreadful. Stay safe, Mosley. There he is. Every man a king has been bypassed, and we are on the path for the business plot. In order to keep the reputation of the War Powers Committee away from the public eyes, we have chosen to extend the facade of the arsenal of the Republic into the new America. Saved United States will return to fundamental values of our founding fathers and clearly say to the world that America is a republic, not a democracy. Well then. Where have I heard that before? So we will... See, Fordism, we will first go for use, or actually, hold on. American dream or creed, or even ideal, is the often described glue that holds together our national integrity and prevents civil disturbances. The cascade of failure that was epitomized by Hoover and turned over by Huey Long is now fertile for our country to replant American nationalism. Oh boy. J. Edgar Hoover understands the need for the new American Republic to safeguard against syndicalists. Cooperation of the FBI is also popularly received as it signals stability. We can trust the FBI to look in all the wrong places for Huey Long. If J. Edgar ever steps out of line, his relationship with Clyde Tolson will be public knowledge. Ooh. Holy shit. Well, let's go with American nationalism first. So do we not have to, Wait, oh my god, we don't even need to, root out terrorists, do we? Oh no, there is. Purge dissidents. It's just further down. Oh, there's COINTELPRO. Oh, this is very, very, very interesting. Right, so, let's see. Not much change since the last time. Since, the time span was fairly short. Federalist, terrorists, of course. These guys, yeah, they need to be exercising. May as well, why not? And let's actually establish a bunch of submarine squadrons. Or wolf packs. Call it wolf pack, save, and okay. And now let's Grab one of these. There you go. And SS, where is it? We can shift these over to other like fleets and stuff, because this is one submarine group. We might just make this like Force A or something. Keep the order of battle a little bit different from our CSA playthrough, while still keeping it sort of familiar to the kind of style I like to play with. Yeah, this should ensure that all the upcoming submarines that we're building will be placed into actual squadrons and will be able to exercise. And let's have a look at the armies again. They're all kinds of messed up. This will be the American Legion, and it will be A. Our capital will, of course, be Washington, D.C. And yeah, there you go. The American Legion will have Army 1, Western Wolves. Motorized Minutemen. We'll keep those as a... We'll keep those, like... For now, we haven't quite yet decided what to do with them. They'll probably no longer be known as the Minutemen. This is the second army. No name yet. I'm just gonna keep it like that. Third army. Well, I mean, we can probably keep them as the Minutemen. Fourth army. Silver Legions, we'll swap them over towards infantry, or no, sorry, AUS infantry divisions. Like we did last time. Then merge them with this. Always improve computing machine when you can, and also where do we get the reset slot on this one? Yeah, I can't find it. Can't be all the way down there. It must be like hidden alongside a bunch of other bonuses, so I don't see it. It's not COINTELPRO, even though I would maybe potentially I would think that COINTELPRO might have it, or am I just completely wrong and it's like somewhere around here? I thought for sure the oh shit, no, it's down here, right? Yeah, it is. We shall crush these terrorists. Yeah, we're gonna go with take the fight abroad, and go down towards the research slots, and then afterwards. Oh, we also need to like slow down this stuff. Just yeet. Actually, no, let's do that. This is the last line of these that we're gonna make, and then we'll keep this one going. Reason for that is that we're running low on support equipment, so we need to actually get up or get that built and all that, or made. Tying up loose ends. Weaving spiders are the many members of the press that continue their fruitless search for Huey Long. Although the FBI has made the best public display of effort possible, there persists some underground press who do not believe syndicalists did the deed. While most pamphlets on this are published anonymously, the FBI have traced their origin and, surprisingly, found them to be coming from both the left and the right, politically speaking. These conspiracy theorists, as we call them, could destabilize our government if they continue their publications. So, The government's ability to cover up the plot will improve, will lose political power and stability, or leave them be, this will all blow over. No, we will cover up the plot. Canadians still have troops in our borders. Why do you... Why though? Alright, let's see. Just having a look at the world situation. The Communist of France obviously going to capitulate. Wonder, should we spread authoritarian Walmart democracy to the rest of the world as... well, authoritarian Walmart democracy was a phrase, I believe, coined by someone in Discord called Boring Artichoke. I found it very funny. Yeah, should we spread that to the rest of the world? Like, what should our goals be? Obviously, we probably want to, you know, eradicate syndicalism. But that seems to be, you know, the Germans seem to have that covered. So, I don't know. Should we look for resources to you know, extract from less developed nations, or do some like neo-colonialism bullshit? Send in the army. Oh, okay. We're actually that poorly. Yeah, in terms of stability, our stability is that bad. Sure. Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah, because it's the unique one for the paternal autocrats. Alash Orda has joined the Great Khanate. Big boy. Roman von Ungern-Sternberg. Heingard, Romania has capitulated. So, there was this meme I saw on the Kaiserreich subreddit with like 3 dragons. And it just said like the Belgrade Pact, and it had Serbia, Bulgaria, and Greece, I believe. No, sorry, Serbia, Greece, and Romania. And Serbia and Romania were like big old scary dragons, and Greece was like this special dragon, I guess. And I can tell you that is not the case in this playthrough at all. 23 to 31. 16 to 30, and Romania, of course, is gone. Every girl a queen. What? Oh my god. The most delicate part of the business plot is upon us. It appears Huey Long's will dictates that in an event of his injury or incapacitation, his wife Rose Long was to take his post. What the fuck? That's not democratic. Many diehard Long followers have come to Washington demanding Rose occupy the presidential mansion until Huey Long can be found. They are met with an equal number of former Federalists who insist Huey Long's running mate, William Lemke, as the constitutionally correct president, siding with the Constitution as her best defense is perhaps the most more prudent path. It could also be seen as an insult to Huey Long's widow and inflame the anger of the public even further. So show sympathy for Rose Long's cause, or the Constitution is not subject to sentiment. The Constitution... Oh shit, I want to see Rose Long though. Oh yeah, of course, we can go with the early mobilization. I'm gonna say... I want to see both. Hold on. I gotta do this. Make a public show of sympathy for Rose Long's cause. Does that? So it doesn't actually swap us out, but it does help us. Okay, never mind. So it doesn't actually put Rose Long on any of our positions, like of our cabinet or as leader. That's fine. The El Centro earthquake. We've talked about this before. NAACP declares the government illegitimate. In the wake of the devastating Civil War, the future of American rights fought so long for is again threatened. Initial assurances of civil protection by Huey Long kept many from the streets as socialists and federalists roiled. There were even planned meetings in New York City for Huey Long to directly address civil rights concerns before that fateful day. Now, with Huey Long gone, all illusions of safety are dead. Walter Francis White, along with several high-ranking members of the NAACP, have declared the new America illegitimate. Many of them now prepare to emigrate to Canada and to other countries, as Marcus Garvey did and so many others did during slavery. So be it. The Hollywood list. We know that Hollywood has always acted above the law. Its mere existence in California and attempt to dodge intellectual property laws. Moreover, it is no secret that some artists there had hoped for syndicalist victory over our great American Republic. Their folly must be exposed and their sedition prosecuted. We'll film their trials, holy shit. Alright. Let's do war propaganda as well, why not? Yeah, we'll begin trials against these traitorous generals. We'll need a lot of them if we're going to fight a lot of wars, which I imagine we will. I think this playthrough probably, since there's not too much going on in Europe, I think this playthrough is going to be more focused on the Americas and on potentially like colonial ventures, I guess. Syndicalist bombing again, of course. Civil war in India. Never seen the Baratia commune break out over here as well. I'm guessing that's like event spawn militias or something. Bologna strong. Also, by the way, I think this this video is probably going to go up shortly before I'll be streaming, and I put a straw poll up in Discord, so if people want to check that out, where I asked people to vote on what I'm going to stream today. Yeah, if you wanna have a vote, go there and you know, throw in your vote in the announcements channel, I believe. It's probably gonna be like part Hydra 4, part GeoGuessr, which is a lot of fun to play, especially with like people being able to like yell at me and complain at me being bad at, you know, recognizing flags or languages or anything. Honestly, not that bad. It's just in the US, I'm fucking lost. I can't find anything. 22nd Amendment. The committee is in agreement on the future of the 17th Amendment, the amendment that forced direct election on senators. Passed under Wilson, and in his vein, populists bid to promote insurgent democracy over Republican system of government. Jesus Christ. The 22nd Amendment will ensure that this unneeded alteration to our system is repaired, and Congress will again be represented in the way the Founding Fathers intended, as our Founding Fathers intended. I'm hearing a lot of, like, not to pull parallels to current day politics, because I like to avoid doing that, but I'm hearing a lot of echoes of modern day rhetoric right now. War Powers Committee versus Congress. A meeting today between the War Powers Committee and several congressmen friendly to our cause was held to address the future of representation in the presidential cabinet. Oh my god, cabinet. My brain just like fucking leaked out my ear halfway through that. Fear that the political spotlight the War Powers Committee is under by holding cabinet positions has two possible solutions. What the fuck is that sentence? Yeah, that... Okay, then. The first is to coordinate with Congress in order to push through a law to reorganize the presidential cabinet to officially become the War Powers Committee. Or, the second is to appoint several of our loyalist politicians from Congress to appease prying eyes and keep the stability of our new American Republic needs. The latter comes at a great political cost and will weaken our position, though certainly it goes a long way towards obscuring our intentions. We've already done two, where we hide ourselves. So I think this one will be in plain sight, I think. We don't need the political power, though. No, you know what? I'm gonna call in favor to appoint the congressman. We'll do everything in secrecy. Absolute secrecy. Let's see, can we, I'm gonna save these, because I'm gonna use them on air doctrines and on, making new airplanes. But we can probably make new infantry stuff. These guys are pretty good. Armor division, this is kind of weak, but it's a good start, so I'm gonna set this one up to be like a normal. This is our standard light tank division. Gonna need maintenance companies as well. I'm gonna copy that and make an probably a medium and a heavy, but we haven't researched the heavy tanks yet. Mother's movement clashes with feminists. One of the least likely sources of support within the American First Party came from Mother's movements. The Mothers' movements are a group of religiously minded conservative women who aligned with the radical elements that sought to undermine Huey Long. Now that Huey is long gone, leaders like Alma Bridwell White and Elizabeth Dilling now direct hysteria against suspected socialists. The marches have also demonstrated a xenophobia against Catholics and blacks. Their position within New America is tenuous, as the highest members of our government regard the 19th Amendment with only slightly more respect than the 13th through 15th. Oh boy, for now they are useful. Every man a king, but no one wears a crown. Finally, the business plot's masterstroke is ready. Exhausting and unresolved debates have worn down the willpower of Congress to elect a vice president with absolute majority. A group of our more trustworthy senators are ready to bring George Moseley into his own as vice president, and to then serve as president until Huey is found. This involves a very specific alteration to Article 2 and the 12th Amendment to allow for Moseley as president pro tempore to assume office. Any attempts to uncover the truth behind Huey's disappearance have gone nowhere. I love the Republic. I hate democracy. And the Commune of France has capitulated, and we get some somber music. There's the occupation. The Kingdom of France takes a little bit. The German Empire takes most. It's a full-on military occupation, it seems, though that might be handled in a moment. Of course, the Kingdom of France might declare war to take back their lands. Helvetic Commune has capitulated. Syndicalist nations are falling one by one, leaving only the Union of Britain to stand alone against the monarchism of the continent. Persistence of anti-Semitism. With the great success of Fordism in America, there comes as well some critics of the ideas presented in Ford literature, especially within the Dearborn Independent, Dearborn, Michigan, I'm guessing. Articles describing a massive worldwide conspiracy of Jews has created backlash against Fordism. The public at large is beginning to question Ford's aging logic, and as Ford is not a very public man, his responses to the press have only damned him further. Ford's critics, including other committee members, racial rhetoric must be pushed subtly and anonymously. Most of the committee, including George Van Horn Moseley, still agree with Ford's theories, but disagree on the medium to propagate those ideas as to not destabilize the new America's international relations. So, if we side with Ford, we get paternal autocracy, or if we side with the committee, we get stability. I'm gonna go with, or lower the national populism and increased paternal autocracy. I'm gonna go with stability though, because we have none. Let's see. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, so the trial, we already read this in the last episode. We're going to spare them all, because we need more generals. P-36 Hawk? Hell yeah. Production cost? No, we don't want that. We want... Never mind, we want that. And we're gonna go with strategic destruction, I think. Because we're gonna overpower pretty much any nation we fight in terms of air power in general, so we're gonna bomb the shit out of them from afar. Very appropriate for the path this America is taking. Military research. We are having our best scientists and business leaders look into what we should invest our efforts into. Guns, artillery, AI, and all that stuff. So we're gonna go with... Land doctrine is good, but we have a lot of this to use, so... No tanks, because we're kind of far behind. I'm gonna do it with guns. That gives us a bonus to the M1 carbine. Army bonus bill. We need that research slot. After that, we'll start focusing on the terrorists. Trial of the Pacific generals, we'll spare them as well. Just gonna go through and assign some traits because we have command power and all that. This guy's really good in hills and forests, which means he would be excellent in terms of holding. He's also got a movement bonus on those things and also movement bonus on land, so he might be really good at just like getting from point A to B. Or, no, actually we're gonna go with adaptable. Adaptable is a very, very good trait. And I'm going to keep the rest of them. Mr. Collins here is an excellent, excellent general. Let's see. Nothing for Holmgren. Pedro de Valle. Actually, let's see if we can swap out Holmgren for someone who's a bit more experienced. Yeah, we have a bunch of people from the Pacific States here. Really good traits as well. Let's do Hodes. So Pedro, Mountaineer. I'm just gonna give him Infantry Expert. We do need a lot of them because we're gonna have a very, very, very sizable standing army. We're also going to have a lot of Special Forces, I think. Some Special Forces Marines and some Special Forces Paratroopers, I think. Have we made any Marines? Yes, we have Marine Division, and they're kind of bad. There you go, 20 width, and we've got all the sport companies and all that. Patriotism or profits. A conflict of interest has arisen between the market and the War Powers Committee. A recent speech given by Roger Babson highlighted the hypocrisy of multinational corporations that both claim to be patriotic while also opening factories in European syndicalist nations. Our own Fred Koch fired back by stating that the market and American people want their businesses to succeed as an extension of patriotism. While the War Powers Committee leads several multinational corporations, we have noticed a strong uptick in domestic sales that could remove the risk of retreating from foreign markets. It is time for the committee to settle the national debate. So business is our business, or patriotism is our business. I think that business is our business. And with that said, we're at the end of the episode, so I'm going to say thank you so much for watching. If you would like to, see more of me or see more of the stuff I do, you can find me on Twitter. You can find me on in Discord, where I take suggestions on games to play, on nations to play, and on paths to take for these nations. The suggestion to do the business plot came from Bobbitt Canuck, him and some others in the comments as well, but in the Discord, and he's also the one who told me how to get back on path, or like on track. when apparently the comments misled me. Though I might have just misunderstood the comments. And also, Twitch, where I live stream. I will be live streaming sometime after the time this video goes up. I'll probably post a link in the comments and let you know that I'm going live. You can also find me, or like find the announcement on Twitter and on Discord. The best way though is just to go to Twitch and just hit that follow button. It's kind of like subscribing on YouTube. And also Patreon if you'd like to support me, and there's one more that I keep forgetting, or I might have already said it and I'm just being stupid. Either way, thank you so much for watching. Authoritarian Walmart is fun. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.